Hello students, welcome to this English class once again. Now today in this video we are going to read a very interesting poem from your MCB, that is Lines Written in Early Spring. This beautiful poem has been composed by William Wordsworth. Guys, William Wordsworth was born in 1770. He was born on 17 April and he was an English poet. Okay, he wrote a number of poems on nature and is often called a nature poet. Guys, William Wordsworth is one of the major literary figures of all times in the history of English literature. Wordsworth collaborated with Samuel Taylor in preface to lyrical ballads, marking the start of the Romantic era. William Wordsworth's work are enjoyed by both youngsters and adults, and he surely remains as one of the most important and favored poet. So guys, here we are going to read one of his best compositions in the poem Lines Written in Early Spring. Guys, this composition by Wordsworth is in a form of ballad and consists of six quatrains. Six quatrain means the poem is having 6 stanzas and each stanza contains 4 lines. Okay, this poem was included in the preface to lyrical ballads. In this poem, Wordsworth expresses his appreciation of the beautiful nature and his concerns regarding the path the humanity is leaning towards. Okay, guys, the poem is set in a landscape of beauty, a small woodland grove. Wordsworth was inspired into writing this poem when he was walking near Alford. So the setting of the poem can be associated with the beautiful scenery of Alford. So have a look on the poem. The speaker tells, have a look on the first stanza, very first. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I stayed reclined in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. Now guys, here the speaker tells that while sitting reclined means leaned backwards in a comfortable position. Okay, so while sitting reclined on a woodland grove, his mind was filled with several thoughts, while he finds solace in the nature's beauty. At the same time, beauty also reminds him of bad thoughts. The next stanza, the poet is saying, to her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made for man. Okay, now the speaker appreciates the nature for her godlike abilities of linking a human soul to herself, but he also feels grief while thinking about how clearly man has separated himself from Mother Nature. Now move on the next stanza. Through primrose tufts in that green bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreaths, and 'tis my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. Now guys, the speaker is highly appreciative of the nature's beauty. He finds delight in the green bowers. Bowers means a pleasant shady area in a forest or garden. Okay, so he finds delight in the green birds and has faith that the beautiful flowers enjoy every ounce of the air they breathe. They are thankful for living besides the nature. Now have a look on the next stanza. The birds around me hooped and played. Their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. Now here the poet is saying that he observes the birds which sing and hope around him. He is in awe of these creatures, though the speaker doesn't understand their language and ways. He does recognize that the birds are creating all these movements out of sheer pleasure and joy. Now he is saying in the next stanza, the budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. Now he is saying that the breeze flowing is sweet and light. The twigs are spreading out as if to catch the sweet air, and all the speaker can do is gather pleasure. All the speaker can do is gather pleasure in their existence. Now the poet is saying that if this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of men? Now here the speaker questions that if this is heaven and this is the holy plan of nature, then what has man made of man? That is himself and his kind, by separating from such joy. Guys, this wonderful poem by Wordsworth reminds the readers of the beauty of nature, the value of enjoying and appreciating their existence, and the need to protect the nature from harm. Now guys, have a look on the poetic devices. In this poem, the poem is composed in a form of a ballad. Okay, as I have told you, the poetic device is used here, alliteration. Okay, in the line, what man has made of man, the repetition of the letter M, that is called alliteration. All right. Now guys, the rhyming scheme of the poem is A B A B. The letter A denotes the first line and all other lines rhyming with the first line. The next line that does not rhyme with the line marked A is denoted by the letter B, and all other lines rhyming with it can be marked B, and so forth. This pattern of rhyme is known as the rhyming scheme of a poem. So guys, the rhyming scheme of the poem is A B A B. As we can see that the first line and the third line and the second and the fourth line of the stanza rhyme. Okay, this can be indicated by matching letters. Okay, so that is A B and A B. So guys, I hope that the poem is clear to you all.